Welcome back. Now to our very first big story for this morning. Let's take a critical look into a significant legislative development in Nigeria. The Nigerian Senate has passed the bill to increase the salaries, allowances, and also benefits of judicial officers. This legislation aimed at enhancing the effectiveness and independence of the judiciary has stirred considerable debate. Now, the bill, officially titled Bill for an Act to Prescribe the Salaries, Allowances, and Fringe Benefits of Judicial Officers, Office Holders in Nigeria, and for Related Matters 2024, was read for the third time on Wednesday. The Senate considered the report from the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights, and Legal Matters before passing the bill.
Now, presenting the committee's report, Chairman Tahir Mungunu emphasized that increasing judicial salaries and allowances is crucial for maintaining judicial independency and effectiveness. Now, following his presentation, the Senate conducted a clause-by-clause consideration and passed the bill by voice vote with a majority in favor. Now, President Bola Tinubu had earlier endorsed the bill in a letter read by Senate President Godswill Akpabio, arguing that it would enhance the capacity of the Nigerian judicial system. Now, the House of Representatives had already passed the bill on March 20th. Now, the bill outlines a new salary structure for judicial officers, with the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, receiving a monthly package of 5.3 million naira.
Now, justices of the Supreme Court will earn 4.21 million naira, while the president of the Court of Appeal will receive 4.48 million naira monthly. Other junior judicial figures, including chief judges and court presidents, will see their monthly packages range from 3.53 million naira to 3.73 million. Additional benefits include leave allowances, estacode of $2,000 per night when applicable, duty toll allowances, a severance gratuity of 80.78 million naira upon successful completion of tenure, and an option for a motor vehicle loan. Now, to discuss this and the implications of the bill, we have with us, joining us, Francis Chilaka, public affairs analyst and also legal practitioner. Good morning, Francis. Good to have you here with us. Or rather,
unfortunately,
we are expecting to be joined by Francis. We also still have with us Akingbolu, who will be joining us right now. Kabir Akingbolu, good morning to you.
It's a pleasure for having me on the program. Good morning, Nigeria.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Now, what are your thoughts on the timing and also urgency with which this bill was passed?
Well, the timing is, I don't want to say the timing is wrong. No, it's never too late. It's better than, never. However, it is long overdue, because the last time the salaries of these judicial officers was increased was in 2007. I think about 17 years ago. So you know what dollar was in 2007. $100 was about 15,000 naira or 14,000 or thereabout, and now $100 is about 1,500 naira. So you can see the extent of the inflation, the galloping inflation on the pockets of on the salary that they are being paid. So this one is a welcome development, and but too much is given, much is expected, because one will expect the more efficiency from the judiciary, although from the three arms of government, judiciary still seems to be the one that is much more effective than other two arms. However, it is a good thing also if the economy can be revamped, because if the economy is not revamped, even if you pay any worker 1 million naira per day, the money will go just the way you see the name, because if the economy itself is not stable and the value of naira is depreciating the way we are having it sliding, whatever amount you pay these workers, in a matter of months or 2-3 years, you will have to increase it again. And how long shall we continue to increase the salary of these people? And don't forget too that where judicial officers are properly and adequately compensated or remunerated, let us put it that way, the way they work is it can affect the way they work. Again, it can obliterate or make corruption, reduce corruption if there is any. So it is a very good law. We must commend the executive. I think it's an executive bill, and we must also commend the Senate for passing the law in good time.
Yeah, Kabir, you just said that it's going to some way curb corruption, but other critics have worried that this increase in salaries and allowances in some way would it impact the independence of the judiciary in terms of integrity and transparency?
No, there is no how. The money paid to judicial officers is from a special fund called the Consolidated Fund. So it is there. Even when the nation has no money, the money of judicial officers cannot be delayed. When the nation is bankrupt, the salary of judicial officers cannot be delayed because there is a special arrangement for the payment, for the funding of that sector of that arm of government. So, and again, don't forget, executive arm of government to execute the policy of government, while the legislators are to make law, and the judiciary to interpret the law. However, this is it all over. This is how it is all over the world. And when you look at it from this angle, judiciary does not, or is not in a position to award, to fix the amount of money they are going to be paid. Neither do they control funds. However, everything still comes from the executive. Whatever the judiciary will spend will come from the executive. They propose the budget for them and present it before the National Assembly. This is with intakes from inputs from the judicial officers. So it's not going to erode anything. Whether you like it or not, all the world over, it is the executive that pays the judiciary.
Kabir, this brings a quote from the Animal Farm. All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. And I'm very sure that you're aware of the social criticism, the public criticism that this has brought. Now, given the current economic challenges in Nigeria, do you think that this move is actually the right one when we're still talking about the TUC, the NLC being in talks with the government regarding minimum wage and how the people are struggling and have been waiting for weeks for that minimum wage figure to come out? What makes them better than the common man?
Yes, I can tell you straight away that your analogy is opposite. But when you look at it from this angle, you will also, I have always been a critic of the fact that the amount of money you are offering labor is not something to write home about, because the old 60,000 is not up to $50. It's not up to $50. So why would there not be brain drain? Why would there not be people doing Japan and the rest of them? Because the money you are paying is nothing. Now, when you talk of the money being paid to judicial officers, the CJN in a year we earn about 64 million naira. Other justices of the Supreme Court we earn about 60 million naira, and so on and so forth. And don't forget the Senate. The Senate that we have today, nobody knows exactly what they collect. However, there is the public one that is very clear to all of us by Senators Chew Sonny, who came out publicly, it's in the public domain everywhere, that the salary they are earning is just 13 million. Basic salary. House of Rep, basic salary 8 million. Now, if you calculate 30 million naira per senator in a month, it means a senator is earning 433,000 naira. Can you compare it with what you are paying the judges now? Can you compare it with what you are paying the justices of the Supreme Court and other judicial officers? So this is where the executive ought to be much more concerned about the welfare of the citizens. If you can pay this much to the legislator, if you can pay this to the judicial officers are even working more than the senators. The number of time or the number of days they work in a year is can be calculated. You understand? And you still take city allowance, you still take newspaper allowance. Newspaper allowance of a senator is not less than about 40 to 45 million naira, and in a year. So when you look at some of these things, the constituency allowance of a senator under Obasanjo already was 20 million naira per month. For rep is 15 million naira per month. Now I think it's more than 5 times of that amount now. And they will just do that empowerment one time, in a whole year, collecting a lot of hundreds of millions and spending about,
Kabir, now you are saying that this will boost the morals of, judicial officers, judges, and, other workers alike. But then what about decluttering our judicial system? How about it making it effective? You know, I mean, there are court cases that are still pending. It's common knowledge that when it comes to judiciary and, you know, the law system in and of itself, it is clogged and it's very slow. How about we talk about effectiveness of the system in and of itself? And can this increment help in ensuring that it is effective or fast?
It cannot help it in any way. I will take example of Lagos. I'll take Lagos for example. Lagos today has about 100 judges in high courts. But I can tell you, if you want that state to function, the judiciary of that state to function very well, you need about 500 judges. Because as I talk today, the average number of cases in the docket of a judge is not less than 500 to 600, some 700. You have 700 cases pending before you know, that you have to fix things for them. So per day, you go to the cost list of a judge in his court, he will have like 23 cases. How many will he attend to? You go to another court, I have seen 55. So there is shortage of judges. You understand? The number of judges have to be increased drastically. You know, in a state like Lagos, having, you know, they need not less than 500 judges. And now, go to Court of Appeal, the same thing. Go to the Court of Appeal is even a bit better than every other sector. Go to Supreme Court. We have only, since inception, the Constitution made provision for 21 justices of the Supreme Court, but except under Tinubu, the highest we have had was 16. Now, but Tinubu has increased it to 21, which is the maximum. So we can have 4 panels sitting now. Unfortunately, at the Supreme Court, we have 2 courtrooms. So how will the 4 panels sit? So what they do is the 2 panels will sit for 2 weeks, another 2 panels will sit for 2 weeks, the other 2 panels rest. So this is not the way it is supposed to be. If we are having 4 panels, we should be able to have 4 courtrooms. So the salary will not transcend to building more courtrooms. It will not transfer to building more infrastructure. It will transfer to making the environment to be more conducive for the legislative officer. Then, when we talk about technology, we need to deploy technology to courts so that judges will not be writing in long hands, because this one slows the pace of argument, it slows the pace of activities in the courtroom. This is very important. So the executive still need to do more, the legislators still need to do more to ensure that the working environment is highly conducive in terms of personnel, in terms of technology, in terms of infrastructure. And
okay, so Kabir, on one side, Kabir, earlier you said that this is a good move by the Senate and that you lauded it actually. And then on the other side, you're saying that this move, this increase in pay would not help with effective judicial system. So I'm a bit confused where you stand. However, my question is, what are the potential political implications here passed by President Tinubu, and also what are the implications on him politically and the ruling party, noting that they are the ones who actually accepted this bill? Does it have any implications?
Well, given the Nigeria that we find ourselves, people will think that it is a way for the judiciary to be supporting the government, but it is not so. It is not so, because every state of the federation, even at the state level, it is the governors that are paying the salaries of the judges. You understand? So there is no negative way, except, and of course, if any politician wants to utilize that one to gain some, advantage. But I don't think any judicial officer worth his salt will allow that one to impede his character. We allow that one to influence his decision. We allow that one to make him to be more, to lean favorably towards one party or another. As a judge, we must be an arbiter. Because in any polity where a judge is corrupt, where the judiciary is corrupt, it is worse than armed robbery. So it is not good where the judiciary is corrupt. And I want to think that this will not have any negative impact on that. But what I'm saying, in respect of where you are confused, is that it's a good move to increase the salary. However, it is better to improve the economy. That is what I'm saying. Because if the economy is not improved, in the number of a year or two, the money is gone.
Kabir, you still haven't answered the question, which is, and I'm just going to reiterate my co-host's question. Will this increment in any way influence or have an effect or somewhat on President Bola Tinubu's administration and the ruling party in general?
No, it will not. But to the public will believe so, but in practice, it will not. It will not.
Okay, then.
But the perception of the judicial world will be different, in rating the government.
Kabir, I want to say thank you very much for joining us. We've heard all that you have said.